What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Man Cave. We are Ryan, Corey, and Hamp, and you're listening to the Much About Nothing podcast, the show where we give expert takes and good-hearted debates. We talk ball and anything and everything else. In this episode, we will explore the topic of gender roles in the household. We will discuss whether men and women should split bills and the impact of women being the breadwinner in the home. We will also explore whether men can be stay-at-home dads and the challenges they may face in that role. If you got something to say, put it in the comments. If you are new to the pod, greetings. Please hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notifications. Smash that bell. If you're already part of the fam, welcome back. Please like, share, and again, comment. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let's get into it.
Yes. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I want to start this thing out by saying, guess who's back? Back again. Ryan's back. He's our friend. Hey, that was kind of corny, but
What's up, my guy, man? My
welcome back,
guy, my
man.
guy.
Yeah,
Man, we got a lot of people in the chat today, man. It must be a
yeah,
good
man.
episode coming on.
Man, keep the comments coming, man. We definitely want to hear from y'all. We'll definitely shout out y'all and all y'all comments. Let us know what y'all think. At the end of the day, I do not like the way this.
Okay,
Got
all
to
right.
get used
So
to this
before
three-man
before we get
podcast.
into it, shout out to Danielle, first in the building. Somebody that finally beat Tip. We got Tiff in the building.
Somebody beat Tiff.
Somebody beat
No
Tip.
shot. Nah.
I'm
Tiff was
telling
the
you.
first person. Tiff was the first person.
I'm telling you. Vontae was happening, bro. Trey was happening. Tay in here was happening. We got Crystal in here was happening. Miss June is in here. Thank you for coming to see us. Oh, we got Tawana and Todd in here. It is packed in here.
I can't let you do Tiff like that. Tiff was the first person. Vontae was the second. Kevin was the third, and Donna was the fourth.
Oh, she was the fourth.
Tiff
Okay,
was
vibes don't go that low. Okay,
yeah.
you're right.
Tiff was the first again. And,
Somebody gonna beat you. You gotta wake up
it's in
early to get
military
in
time.
here.
Yeah, it is. She did at 10:28, 15 seconds.
She's boy, she on military time.
Yes, sir.
That's
Up
supposed to
there.
be,
How you been? How you been, Ryan?
bro. Tired, bro. But I'm here.
Listen, man.
I
I don't
can't.
even know. I don't even know if it's in order to how you even introduce yourself again, man.
Wow, it's been that
It's
long.
been
It
that
ain't been that
long,
long.
man. It's
It
been.
ain't been that long, man. No,
Man,
sir. No, it ain't.
tell the people who you are, man. Who are you?
Uh,
Who are you,
I'm,
Ryan?
I'm the other Ryan. I'm the little Ryan, the younger Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Um, I'm from the same place these guys from. If you don't know me, took a little break. Been doing the entrepreneurial thing, daddy thing, the work thing, promotions and stuff. So I'm here now. I promise him I give him once a month.
Oh
So I
my
gotta stick
goodness,
and
man.
keep my word, man. Gotta keep my word.
Hey, shout out to the busiest man in Atlanta. Think he might be part
Yes, sir.
Jamaican.
I'm trying to get a break, bro. That's it.
Hey, Corey. Let's get
Yeah.
into it, brother, man. What we got
Let's
up
get
here?
into this. Let's get into this. We're gonna start this thing out with should men and women split bills? The typical starting of this conversation is when you go out on a date, how do you decide who pays? At the end of the day, do you decide the man always pays, or I mean, we live in a day and age. You got a select group of women that say, I could do everything a man could do. I should be able to pay too. Don't think I don't need your money. INDEPENDENT. Yeah. So let us know. We want to hear from y'all. But starting this thing off, hey man, what do you think? I'm saying of course we gotta say dating because exclusively we said this. I've been married and all our money been going into one pot for quite some time. At the end of the day, we don't ask who's paying. It's usually who got the card, yo.
Whoever got the card.
Whoever got the
Exactly.
card, because it's
Exactly.
all money. At the end of the day, it's one pound. But we said
Facts.
in the dating world, when you were growing up, think back, go back, and how did you decide who paid?
Hmm. Hey, you be careful, girl, Crystal.
Yeah, please
Kevin,
don't
Kevin, the
text and
builder.
drive,
What's
please.
happening, big Kev? That's my guy.
Yeah.
He's
No texting and driving, Crystal.
yeah.
Please.
All right. So in a dating standpoint, man, you know
Mm.
what, Ryan, it's on you, brother.
Hey man. Man pays, bro.
Man pays.
Man pays. Look, it's chivalry, man. Like to me, it's a chivalrous thing.
Mm.
You don't take nobody out if you can't pay for it, man. Right? Because I mean, if you can't afford to go to wherever you're going, you shouldn't go anyway.
Mm.
So if I'm going and I got the money in my pocket to pay for it, I'm taking care of
Mm.
it. Yeah.
Hey, so what you think, Corey?
Well, I'm on the opposite end. I think the person that asked. If a lady came up to me and she asked me to go out, I'm assuming because I always say this: you don't know how my financial situation is going through. You don't know what's going on with me, and assume I think at the end of the day, people don't take into account that a man money might be funny at that point in time. Just assume that I'm going. Yeah, I would like to go out, but you know what I'm saying. If you ask me out, typically, you know what I'm saying, I'm assuming that you're gonna pay, and that's just where I am. But if I ask you out, it could be already assumed that I'm going to pay if I ask you out. And it's the same way I mentioned this in something earlier. It's the same way if I do couple date. My wife knows this. If I go up to a couple and be like, "Hey man, y'all want to go out to uh Texas Day Brazil?" You know what I'm saying? One day, get a bite to eat. And you're like, yeah, man, let me ask the wife. Yeah, sure. When you get there, when I asked, it was already in plan because I do not know your financial situation, but I want to enjoy your company. So if I wanted to enjoy your company, I'm gonna pay for your meal. I'm not asking you to do that. That's just
Mm.
the way it is. I mean, I thought that was always that way. I mean, unless like I do think typically the way if I invite you over to the house, then it is you bring the meal. If I invite you over to the home, then you bring the meal. That's kind of the way. If and I'm pretty sure Hamp probably ain't noticed this, but if I come over, usually I bring food, right?
Yeah, that's
If
facts.
I that's just the way I am. If I come over your house, I bring something along. It's just I don't know. That's just the way that I was taught, and I think that's good. Showing respect. I mean, that's the way it
Yeah,
is.
I'm gonna tell you, man. Every time I will say that the guy he stands on what he says. He absolutely, even if I tell him not to bring something, I try to talk him out of it. I usually try to pay him when he brings something. But okay, there's some good comments in this thing here, man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, they spot on
hey, when
too.
they
They
listen,
spot
man.
on.
Hey, look, I'm on comment duty right now. All right, so Vontae asked the question: why can't a woman pay though?
She can.
Hmm.
I never said she couldn't. I just said I'm paying.
How that's gonna work?
I set the tone.
Oh, okay, all right. This man, he in
I
charge.
set the tone. So if I pay for dinner, she could go pay for dessert.
Okay,
Right?
all right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Kevin says, if you paying, it's a payment.
It is.
Okay, all right.
It is. It's an investment,
Hey,
bro.
Tip says, if a man got a financial situation going on, he needs to stay out the dating game.
It's not even about the financial situation. I think
He didn't get his priorities in order.
that's what I'm saying.
Hey,
And what I always say is this is the divide. We're gonna talk about gender roles. All right. If a woman doesn't have a financial situation together, should she stay out of the dating world? You know,
Oh,
yeah,
if your money
yeah.
ain't right enough to pay for the meal and you're gonna invite me out to eat, then maybe you shouldn't be inviting people out to eat. maybe you
Yes,
shouldn't be
you are.
asking. If your money
You
that
are
funny,
absolutely
you
right.
need to stay home. What you want, a free meal or do you want a date? Do you want to join my company or you want me to feed you? Because I can give you the money for you to eat and you can go ahead and stay by yourself. I stay at home. I help
Uh,
you out. You need a leg up. You want to be friends or something. But at the end of the day, and I'm telling y'all, y'all gonna get back to this old core thing. But nah, I it's a little tough on me. I used to be a lot more ridiculous. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at it like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You want to, if you want to eat, you want to go out, you gonna meet me halfway. That's what it is.
man, my folks got this thing. It's hard to
Yeah,
even
they
keep.
jumping in the
It's hard to even
comments,
keep his
man.
comments going in.
Hey,
And,
hey,
There,
hey,
women
what
shouldn't be
Tawana
asking
just
men
said,
out.
all right, so
what Tawana just said was perfect, bro.
men should
Mm,
date.
In my opinion, women shouldn't even be asking men out.
Mm,
shouldn't ask men out.
mm.
No,
Mm.
Hey, I like what
no.
Tawana she cooking right now, man. She said men should date with purpose. It's an investment in your future. She will be your boo thing, housekeeper, care provider for the kids, cook, etc. It's an investment, is what she says. Crystal says she's not married, so she considered to be dating. If however, we live together, we both pay bills. But it was a time when I went back to school and didn't pay anything. Okay. Danielle says she agreed that typically it is always said that a man pays, but I feel like who is paying the check or whether you guys are going half is something that should be discussed before the date. So y'all need to be talking Dutch before y'all even go out.
I would agree.
Now, now that's a stretch because ain't nobody talking about the financial plan before they go out on the date, bro. Like, let's be real here. Nobody's, hey, you gonna bring your
Oh
$30,
boy.
you bring my $30. Ain't nobody doing that.
Tiff said, listen, first Kevin said, what Tiff, that man can't court if he's not financially stable. Tiff's response is, that's right, Kev. Who is he courting without money? A basketball? But them
No what?
dudes.
Oh boy. I'm just saying, man.
Oh man. Oh
If
man.
that man, at the end of the day, let's say, I don't know when y'all started dating. Let's go back to the facts. When did y'all start dating? My first date was, I think I was like 16 years old. At the end of the day, like when I'm talking about this is allowance for the week, when I'm talking about I'm going out on this date, you don't understand. I've been saving. I've been saving. This not, I'm not, this is not all the way. I'm talking about all people at all times. Everybody money is not financial where they at. Why I ain't supposed to try to meet a lady of my dreams? Because I believe a woman helps a man become who they supposed. I think they take that rock and mold it into something that's usable. So at the end of the day, you want to get a made man, but you
Mm.
don't want to build a man. Because at the end of the day, when my wife started getting with me, trust me, I was not this guy that you see before me, and I was not making the money I make right now. I was making crumbs. My wife made me. I was making $3.50 an hour at Pizza Hut
No,
as a
well,
waiter. That's
you were
facts.
a
Go
slave.
ask them. I'm making $3.50 an hour at Pizza Hut as a waiter. I went from there to washing dishes and cut table at $5.50. I went from there to being cost plus money more and cost plus for $11. Then I went from there to $11 and got to 16. Then I dropped back down to 11. I worked my way up. At the end of the day, my wife went through a whole travel, so money just won't always there. And my thing was, I was definitely won't gonna spend it like that. Like I'm an in the house type dude. I'm gonna get me, excuse me, but it was 3 for 10s, baby. 3 for 10s and 12 packs, baby. I'm in the crib. You don't want to deal with that, then
Oh, I'm
Grape soda
sorry,
and
bro.
chicken nuggets.
I feel like you went way too deep with that, bro.
that's
You
these
went
facts though,
way
man.
too.
Grape
These
soda and
facts.
Yeah,
chicken
no,
nuggets.
I'm sympathizing with the men that ain't
talking second
always
date.
financially
I got a
capable.
question for you. Did you go to prom in school?
No, I ain't go to prom.
You never went to prom.
Mm-mm.
Did you go to prom?
Yeah, I did that.
After y'all went to prom, when you went out with your date, who paid for it?
You know I did, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you set the tone early, right?
Yeah, that's well.
So, a couple points. Number one, I agree. I don't think you should be dating if you ain't got your money.
I
You ain't got no money, you shouldn't be dating. You should be focused on how to make more money.
You would agree
You
that
can't
for
date
women and men though?
man, both
Or both?
ways. Both ways. If why are you
you ain't
trying?
got the
Why?
time,
Because
bro. You ain't got the time.
at the point you ain't got no money.
you ain't.
At the point you ain't got no money. Yeah, number one, you don't have the time, but you also gonna stretch yourself thin because, bro, one of the best pieces of advice my dad ever gave me was you cannot start with the Mercedes Benz and then try to give her a Honda Accord 5 years later. It ain't gonna work.
Mm.
So you got to be real with yourself from the jump and build up
I
somewhere.
want to
You know what I'm
ping. I
saying?
want to ping this comment by Tiff because later on in the show, I'm gonna come at that jump. This jump right
I,
here.
and then,
Oh man, she breaking the heat in here today.
Yeah, I'm gonna come at that jump. Ping that jump, Tiff. I got a comment on that later.
are we talking about like with that comment though? We might well talk about it now. So with her comment, are we talking about when the relationship gets serious or in the beginning?
Well, I was more so attacking on.
This
I
guy.
think a lot of people want a traditional man, but at the same time, do women want to be traditional women? Would you?
What's a
I don't
traditional
think
man?
traditional man pays for it and does all the things you mentioned right there. The women finances should not matter to the man. If she brings something good, should not depend on it. It's not the 50-50 today's age that people want to go with. At the end of the day, the man pays for everything. And I would say that's a traditional man. So do you agree with traditional women, the women being stay at home, cooking, cleaning, and doing all those traditional things? If you're not going to agree with a traditional woman and say a woman got the right to do all the things she got to do in this day and age, well, a man got to, hey, you can't expect a man to stay traditional and a woman to say, all right, I'm going to be progressive and modern. Yeah, all right, well, the man
You
going to be progressive and modern.
you feel some type of way about this topic,
No,
don't you?
I'm okay with a traditional man,
Man,
but don't say that a woman don't have to be traditional too. I'm pretty sure
I
if we
I
asked
asked
Tiff right
you.
now and I told her a woman should cook, clean, and provide a meal for her man every night,
You think
that
so?
woman should be her choice.
You think so?
Huh?
Hey,
No,
You think
I don't
so?
agree with that.
I got some bad news for you, bro. I got some
I
bad
think
news for
Jones
you,
P.
bro.
Huh?
She do that,
I ain't saying she.
bro.
I don't say she don't do it. I'm saying that she believes that a woman should. I'm pretty sure Tiff does, and I know that she believes that a woman should do that.
All right. So
Should
so
be a
here's my
traditional woman.
thing.
All
If
women should be able to
if a
cook, clean,
man
and take care of the
if a,
household. Do you agree with a
if a
woman learn how
man
to do that?
expects that if a man expects that from his wife
Mhm.
or his lady, he need to retire her from working.
I
Mm.
agree with traditional roles. I agree with
That's my.
traditional roles.
She should be at home. If that's what you're requiring, because now don't get me wrong, this is just recently the recent mind change and thinking, right? We as men are physical creatures, right? We all married here, so let's keep it real. Like a lot of times we know what we want our wives to do for us, right? We have those expectations when more than likely they have the nurturing aspect, so they're taking care of the kids. They way better in the kitchen than we are unless it's warm outside because we stay on the grill, so they do most of the cooking. So when I asked you what a traditional man is, like you said, that's just pay for everything. A
Oh,
traditional man don't
it's
get
a lot of
tired.
things that go into
Like my thing is a traditional man don't get tired. A traditional man picks up everywhere where she can't handle, right?
it. Yeah.
So there are times where I work as hard as I do, but if the kid, my wife cook, bro, I'm gonna try to help clean every now and then. I'm gonna try to cook every now and then. Like to me, a traditional man is them old dudes that you saw that were tired, but they were okay being tired because they knew that they were gonna be taken care of in other aspects. If that makes sense, like it ain't tricking if you got it almost type of thing,
Hmm.
right? That makes sense. That's why they were back in the day. They had two households in the same city. Like
Mhm.
they really was out here getting it and was willing to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week to provide.
Mhm.
If that makes sense.
Agreed.
Man, these comments, I'm so glad
Now
you're here
let's.
because I can spend time in these comments, man.
Oh man, I ain't pulled this thing up. There you go.
I'm so entertained, man.
Yeah, but definitely, I would definitely agree with you. I just think I'm more of the traditional mindset myself, but I am in some ways progressive. I think at the end of the day, all people relationship take a different course. I think in some ways, me and my wife are modern, and I think in some ways, me and my wife are traditional. I think I don't think you have to be either or. Me and something to talk about this all the time. I don't like to stay on this black and white society. I think we operate in the gray mostly in
Correct.
society. So I think you merge that, but I don't. I never like it when a woman assume that a man always should be traditional and do these traditional type things and don't understand that. Okay, if you want that, how about you be a little bit traditional too? If you just want to still do all the modern things in this day and age, yeah, I would agree. I think I know for a fact you already told me Tiff do all the cooking, and I ain't told you need to get in there and cook something, man.
Hey, but look, hey, check this out now. I don't do no cooking, but I do. I help out with the kids, man.
I
Everybody
ain't say you
know
ain't do nothing. I said cooking. I'm saying
help running
specifically
bath
cooking.
time, like help running bath time. You know, you call me around 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm running bath
Be over there.
time.
I got it. That's my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but hey, look, hey, check this out, Kev. I honestly do not know what you're talking about with Ebony K. Williams' comments about working class black males. I would love to know.
Let me see.
What is
Can I
the
pull it
comment?
up? Let me see what you say. Wait there.
Camp, I was seeing some
Ebony K.
highlights.
Oh,
Williams
you know what?
comment
Yeah.
about working
Hey,
class.
listen, man. My microwave game mean though.
Oh yeah, facts, bro. What?
I
Yeah,
will-
my grill game too. It get warm outside. I'm ready to go. I'll be like, babe, I got it tonight. Let me go get some. Let me cook it.
Nah.
But no, but for real though, what I did like in the beginning, I remember we used to. I come home from work, like while we were trying to look for the comment, I would come home from work and try my best to help out in the kitchen. And I never forget when wifey told me like, listen, yo, like I know you want to help, but I need you to stay out of the kitchen because that's where I like decompress. Like the kitchen is where they decompress. So I respect that, but I'm still gonna try to help every now and then. You know what I'm
Yeah, Sil said, he said he will not pick up a pan in my kitchen. That's facts. That's facts.
saying? That ain't acceptable,
I'm gonna
bro.
tear it up. I'm gonna tear it up. What's the next one we got up here next, Core?
All right, hold on. I'm trying to find that comment right quick, but let me jump back over here. So the next one we have right here is when the woman is the breadwinner. When the woman is the breadwinner, winner in the
Ooh,
household, what happens?
ooh, man. You know who getting this one first?
Who?
Won't be me.
You, Core.
Well,
You up on?
me.
Yeah, you up on the mic, man.
When the woman is a breadwinner, I I don't think it's a bad thing. At the end of the day, I'm more so. I don't think you should put labels on a relationship. We kind of talked about this last night. I think a relationship builds upon the situation it is. I think people fit with their relationship is best. My wife was the breadwinner. Winner at one point in time in our life when she came out of school, she started as an RN. So at that time, I made less. And I think I don't know. I do think you have to be a certain type of man that could take certain kind of strength in that move because I do think women do get at the point that I've been told by my wife I make more money than you. I'm like, oh,
Mm,
Hmm.
okay, okay. But at the end of the day, you could take that as an insult. You could take that as an encouragement to find a way to pull up the slack, pick it up. But if you can't, I mean, it depends. I mean, I think a woman has a responsibility to still understand that is a man, and a man has a responsibility to understand he's nothing. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that thing to the pride. At the end of the day, you got to be proud of your wife for being taking that role. But I mean, I don't know. I ain't stay there. I found a way to make more. Yeah.
mm.
So I don't know. Let me ask you, what do you do?
Hey, that's on you, Ron.
All right, bro. Like I'm gonna run a scenario by you.
I'm having too
You
much.
meet
I'm
this
having too
chick.
much fun.
You meet this chick, bro, and she just like everything you think she gonna do. And she's a neuroscientist, right? Like you do realize that you probably never gonna make more money than her, right? So do you not deal with a woman because you just like like there's some very brilliant women out here, bro. And in my opinion, like Monte said, it don't matter. We just were talking about when you married and go on a date is our money. So you gotta make sure that you comfortable as a man in order to date somebody that's making more money than you.
Mm. Corey, what you got on here, man?
Oh, you
Nobody,
hear that?
yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear it.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I was trying to hit a dog on joint. I apologize, y'all. I was trying to hear the comments, man. 'Cause I was trying to download it and put it up here. I ain't gonna worry about it no more. My bad. Y'all said the comments. I was trying to find a way to get on there. I ain't know y'all could hear that stuff in the
Hey,
background. My bad.
Cam broke it down. She said
Yeah,
she would not date a bus driver unless he owned the bus. That's pretty
yeah,
funny, man.
Oh, that comment. Yeah, that was
yeah. All right. So women like that,
yeah,
I
that
do
was
have
ignorant.
problems.
That was
And
ignorant. That is funny, bro.
I think at the end of the day, I mean, I don't think she gonna get what she want in the end. Cause the type of guy that she want, if she want a guy like that that owns a bus, the way she's acting right now, that guy's he got a lot of options. Cause she talking about the top 1% of men. You get into a class, we're talking about men that make that much money that she wants. then they have a lot of options. And they're way more comfortable getting a beautiful woman that's just gonna shut up and not deal with her. At the end of the day, she has a better chance finding a man that's just gonna love her for who she is. But if that man typically makes less, then it's kind of hard. It's not a lot of those men to go around. If you want them to be black, you want to be 6 foot, you want to make a certain kind of money, you're starting to push into that realm of rare men. The more you put labels on it, the more rare it's gonna get. So I think you need to find somebody that's gonna love you and treat you like you need to be treated. That's what I would say.
Well, I'm gonna say, man, most men, myself included, we are fragile human beings. Like, we are fragile. You gotta handle us with care, and so like that right there is it takes a
That's great up like
it
output
takes a
right there. It just make my hair stand up. I'm like, who you thinking?
Hey,
yeah.
no, you gotta have the right. You gotta have the. In order for the woman to be the breadwinner, let's just talk. I see y'all dancing around this. I'll be the one
You
to
gotta
say
be
it.
on you gotta be on both
No, no,
sides
no,
of the
no.
spectrum.
You need a woman that respects you enough to not go that low, because men are fragile. Because the moment she tell you, "I'm the one making the money in this job," oh, you gonna
You think
lose.
that's majority of women up?
No, absolutely not. I think
Yeah,
that's just
I
what
think
is shown more. I
yeah.
don't think most women are like that.
No, I think at the end of the day, I think, but I don't think it's really a problem. I think most women want to date up. I think men are more comfortable. The more money we make, we don't like Tiff said. Men care less about what a woman make and more
Right.
so about how that woman increases his status.
Correct.
So a woman does want if she makes 6 figures, she want her man to make 6 figures, and a man like if I make 6 figures, I don't need a woman to make that. So is the dynamic is very different. So
Here's where it gets crazy though. Before you move on, I actually have had
mhm,
a conversation with somebody who's extremely successful. And what you understand when you get successful is there's a sacrifice that has to be made, right? So if a female is extremely successful and she wants a man to also be extremely successful, right? She has to take a look in the mirror for herself. You can't want a guy to be able to text you all day, call you all day, hit you up all day, and he's as successful as you because are you available to talk all day? No, because you're busy. So if
mhm,
you want somebody that's gonna match that intensity, you got to be willing to take that sacrifice that comes with that. You can't pressure somebody to you don't give me enough attention. Well, you wanted me to make $200,000. Pick one. I could be here, but I might not be able to make that kind of money, right? You want that lifestyle. You want to do like it's sacrifices that comes with that. So it's just it's like a balancing act, bro. You got to figure out that fine space. What's more important, money or time? It can't be both. It's an or in between. It's not an and. You
mhm.
can't have money and time. It's one of the two. And then after you make the money, you can shift to the time or you can spend the time and then go get the money. You can't do both.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Tiff on this, y'all could do. I think the more money a man makes, the less he cares about how much the woman makes. At the end of the day, I think Eddie Murphy said it best. You know what I'm saying? When old boy said like 50, half. When he made that joke about that, he was like, yo, that man had 50 million dollars when he came to the table. You, hey, here go my $50. Yeah, put that in the bucket. He don't care about that $50. At the end of the day, the man cares about brains, beauty, babies, support, nurturing, all those things like Tiff said. I mean, I think the more money that a man's increased, the more and that we talking about gender roles and talking about the the differences in gender. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I think I have to agree with Tiff on that. I think men care less about the finances of a woman, the more money. I think if we all got to a place where we made $1 million, we would tell her, "Hey, baby, you ain't got to work no more. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to work. I just do the work."
That's it.
Yeah.
Hmm. Been happier than I ever been.
So I'm gonna get back to what I was saying about us being fragile human beings, right? And so whether we want to admit it or not, typically, in my opinion, you have to either be completely secure in who you are to allow it to happen, or completely insecure to where you don't even care. Like I'm just here for the PS5. Because anywhere in the middle right there is gonna be complicated. It's gonna be
Mhm.
complicated anywhere in the middle. So I mean, so yeah, yeah, and I'm listening to the conversation. I'm looking at the conversation, and there's so many different interesting points about it. Now, I can tell you, just like you, Corey, man, our family dynamic has changed so often. Like we've changed back and forth, but I do think the house is more in order, if that's the word to say, right? It's more in order when it's not like that.
Mm,
But you do get to a point when it doesn't even matter anymore. Like there's a
mm,
number. I don't know what the number is, but there's a number where it doesn't even matter.
mm.
There is a number there. There is a number. I don't know what that number is.
Who
You
is this
laugh.
person, yo? Who is you dude, bro?
What do you say? My ex so read that redemption too, but I kept it.
Hey, I agree with that though, bro. Like I do believe that men are fragile, bro. It's hard for men to admit that though, right? Like you
Yeah,
said, you got to be real comfortable.
yeah. You
And
gotta
I can
get
only
secure.
speak for me. I'm real comfortable. Is she the breadwinner? But I know it ain't gonna be long because but we all different. I believe everybody on this call and in the comments, we got hustle ambition, right?
Yeah,
Like you can make more money than me, that's cool. But like what I thought was interesting, what you said was like the order is better in your house, right?
yeah. The
The
order is
reason
better.
that order is better is because your wife can trust you with decisions, right? And
Yeah,
about how much money you got, she can trust that you can make the right decision.
yeah.
When you have it set up that way, it don't matter how much money is in there because the structure is proper. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm. But see, I got probably a little more time in the game than both of y'all. Like I got a little
Not
more
much
time.
more, man. Don't act like that, man.
Man, I got a little bit more time in the game.
How long y'all been married?
Hmm. Man, you gonna have to ask her in the comments.
Oh,
For real.
Man, no, I'm just joking
You
with you,
gonna
man. We've
say
been
that? I'm
together.
about to
No,
say, don't
I'm
say
just
that
joking
out
with you.
loud.
you
I'm
should
just
have
joking.
given a gap or
Nah.
something.
Seriously, man. We
I
talking.
would have just said a long time, brother.
Nah, man. We listen on some real, man. Like me and Tip been knowing each other going on 20 years. It's gonna be about 17 years.
I said married,
Yeah,
not
me and my
known.
wife.
Married,
Yeah.
man. So be 12, 13. I can't get the math in front of me right
Yeah,
now.
you ain't that much further than me, bro. I'm coming up on 10 next year. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
I
You
tell
get me
people I've been,
coming up on 10, my brother.
been yeah, man, this be 10 for me.
Nice. Yeah.
10 for me,
We
2014. Nah, it'd be
we
9.
we in here, bro. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all a little bit more time, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been knowing my wife longer than I haven't been knowing her.
No
In
Mm.
word.
years of life. I met my wife when I was 15. I'm 33 now, so that's 18 years of knowing her.
I fell in love with my wife before she was dating somebody that lived on my floor in Overstate, bro.
Gosh almighty, boy.
And she was making more money
2007.
than,
I ain't even
and she
started
and she
dating
and she was making more money than him, right?
who
Mm,
at the time. I don't know what she was. Hey, look, here's the thing. She wasn't even working. She was just fine back then.
Oh,
Bro, I saw her for the first time in '07, and I ain't dated her till 2010.
mm.
I just knew
You
that was
just
like,
stalking, just
oh
stalking,
no, 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 I
just
ain't.
showing up
She
places.
knew who I was, bro. She knew where I was at. She
Mm.
knew who I was at.
but
She was waiting for me to cut them little dreads because she ain't like dreads back then. So
I do want to say it's equal on the both sides. When you said that a woman getting bread, being the breadwinner can sometimes be imposing, I think it's on both sides. Because like my wife did mention that she made more money than me. I have been in place in positions plenty of times where I say I make more money than you, and I don't want to say like that's just single towards the woman. A man can overstate that and overput that too, and be just as much as make the woman feel insignificant in that way. And many times we got to be careful of that too. If I make the breadwinner, it ain't like my wife feelings are removed just when I said you can't get that. I'm when the way you talking about I make the money.
relax, AD. Come on, man.
Didn't
Come on,
even-
man. I actually, I saw a meme about it. That's the only I have never seen that show. I saw a meme about it though. No, man, it's just destiny happens, bro. But hey, hey, let's get this bread, right? Because if so, like, if you doing what you're supposed to do as a man, regardless, like I said, stand by whatever money in the account, bro, is our money. If we marry, it's our money.
man.
But she got to be able to respect you outside of the money, and you can't let the money make you to where you feel like you can talk down on her.
Well, let me ask you this question: do you think right? So right, this is the problem, like in society. Do you think who do you think is? Do you think it's certain people that fit roles better? Because I think majority, I think majority of women, not all women, but I think majority of women are better nurturers than men.
Yeah, no question. I agree with that.
So some people fit roles better, right?
Yeah.
So and this where we get into this thing about like women in the fields of, like, let's say, like lawyers. You have men that's willing to sacrifice all of their lives. They willing to never have kids. They willing to sacrifice everything at the goal of being number one at something. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And
Mhm.
women are less inclined to do so. Rightfully so. They should be smart, because I think the biggest thing you can do is raise a family in this life for a man and a woman. I think that's the most responsible thing you could do, and the most fulfilling thing you could do is raise a family. And I think that's the biggest thing. But I think men are more prone to sacrifice that type of life. And I think because of that, they tend to fit that role better of going to work, and the women staying at home fits that
But
role better.
why do they sacrifice it though? Like, I want you to think about this. When we were growing up, let's think about male, female. When we were growing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the female, the dream was, let's use Barbie as a toy example. The dream was to find a man, to have a big house, to drive a nice car, to be able to do what you want. They had a goal: the house with the picket fence, the beautiful family, the pit. Like, that was a goal. That was what they were taught was the way that life should be. For a man, some very few had examples of good men in their life, right? But what was the goal that they taught you growing up? You got to make money.
I like that comment right there, though.
Gotta have money. That was what we were taught. So for a lot of men that sacrifice that, like with that, I agree. But then you look at people like Shannon Sharp, who's 55, and he
Mm-hmm.
just said on video not too long ago, if he could do it all over again, he wish he had somebody to do it with.
Mm-hmm.
All that money, all that focus, all that time you put into it, that's great. But I agree
Mm-hmm.
with you. There is not a single thing better than establishing, growing a legacy, bro.
I think it's
No,
more fulfilling than anything in this
no
world.
question.
And people
No
act like, and I think people devalue that in a woman. And I think that's probably like we looking at that stay at home mom as something less. And
question.
that has been demonstrated
Woo.
over the years. At the end of the day, I think that is the most valuable thing in this world. The woman staying at home and rearing the children is way more important than that man going to work every day,
Right.
making paying the bills. I think the rearing and upbringing the children is way more important. I think it's way more valuable. It's a beautiful thing. But I do love that comment that Tiff made, man. That's a deep thing.
What she said?
She said, as a woman, my focus is not how much money I can make. It is not innate in me, but I can be dominant in corporate America to make money. But that's not who I am, to who I want to be at my core.
Yep.
She's saying she can be that way. And to she changes
I
who
like
she is at her core to progress in that. And I think most women do that, because corporate America is, well, anything when you it's competitive. Like welding is competitive. I'm pretty sure in all y'all fields y'all compete. So when you have other women in those fields too, y'all compete. It's a messy world out here, man.
man. I like the comment right below it too. Tawana's comment. Oh, well, we are designed differently. The
Uh,
one right under that comment.
uh,
You know, I'm gonna tell you, man. I've heard this and I believe it. A woman is tested when a man ain't got much.
Facts. Facts.
A man is, and it's the opposite.
A man is
A
tested
man
when he
is
has
tested
everything.
when he got everything.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
Like I
that's
mean,
definitely right.
I do believe that. I do believe that.
I think that's 100% true.
Yep.
I want to play a short clip and ask y'all what y'all think about this clip, yo.
Angry. And Janine, if you're watching, I'm sorry for making you angry, but I still meant what I said. So I said, Janine, you are going to have kids, right? She goes, yeah, I'm going to have 3, 4 kids. I said, okay, all things are equal. You and this man, this hypothetical male lawyer at the same firm as you, doing the same job as you, is equally as talented as you. 1 year, you're going to progress. Year 2, you're going to progress. Year 3, he's going to progress. Year 4, he's going to progress. 6. And then year 5, you both progress. Year 6, you both progress. You get pregnant again. Another year, he overtakes you. Another year, he overtakes you. So I use the line, you're becoming a crappier mother so you can also be a crappy lawyer. And she got so mad at me. The fact is, it takes time to rear and raise children. And being a lawyer is one of those careers where you need to be putting the hours in. You need to be working as hard as your competitors to move up in the world. So I said, you're never going to be a great lawyer because you want to have a family. And if you're spending all your time away from your kids at your law office, then you're not going to be a great mother. Why not just pick one and stick with it?
So I think, and saying that playing that career, I'm not saying women overall. I think a decision had to be made, regardless, in the relationship. I think it has to be a decision. Somebody has to take that role, and somebody else has.
I agree with you.
Or it's not going to be fundamentally capable. You have to make a choice. I think the choice is that. Like, some people try to avoid it and both try to split.
Man, I can't believe we actually.
I
can't believe we actually played a tape video in this podcast.
I just said that it has to be a sacrifice.
See, I'm a person that believes just because a person might be wrong about a lot of things, they could be right about one thing. I don't think nobody's 100% wrong about anything. You can say something.
Listen, I ain't mad at it.
You got it. It's a sacrifice, bro. I'm sure as men on this show that work extremely hard, there have been times where y'all have had dad guilt, where you feel like I'm not spending enough time while I'm trying to provide.
Absolutely. 100%.
That is a real deal Holyfield thing that stresses a lot of men out. Right? I would much rather have that mental battle than my wife, because the family is a lot less productive if she's stressed out like that. She's a lot less productive.
I'm not saying it got to even be one way. The woman don't have to be. I think you have to make a choice. Either one of y'all going to be focused on the kids, and one of y'all is going to be focused on making the money. But both can't, you know what I'm saying? Or y'all going to be lacking somewhere. You got to make a choice. And I mean, when he presented that to his sister, I'm pretty sure she was mad, but she had a rational think about it. You know what? Either I got to make a decision where I care more about my career, or I care more about the kids.
Unfortunately, that's not fair though to back that, because it's hard, bro. Like that's a hard deal to make. I don't think, like, those who don't have kids, they really would never understand what we're talking about right now. But
I know a dude right now that
you got to think about this. Everybody goes to work every day. If you have a job and you work for somebody else, you're going to work every day, sacrifice time with your kids every day. As a stay-at-home mom or a mom that's with the kids all the time, they love when them kids go to school because they need a break. Everything is a sacrifice, and at the end of the day, that's why you got to just make sure that your house is in order, right? You just got to. If your things are in order, that sacrifice and the effect of that sacrifice is lessened if you have things in order. Make sense?
Yeah. I think we have to look at it as a job. The person that's at home with the kids are performing the job too. When you look at it like they just doing nothing, they doing a job. Just
hey, listen,
valuable than the job you probably.
My wife been at home over a year now.
Yeah.
Right, and she will tell you she has worked more at home as a stay-at-home mom than she did in corporate America, working 40 hours a week, then coming home and still doing most of those same duties. I have seen her, bro. Stay-at-home moms, they got a harder job than I do, than any of us do. That is a gig, bro. That's a full-time 365 job, because they also dealing with guilt. If I'm at home, I got to make sure I feed my man. Oh, got to make sure I feed the kids. Oh, got to try to take care of myself. Bro, that's a hard. I'd rather go to work. I lie to you not. I'd rather go to work, because that's a hard job for a woman to do. Stay-at-home moms, why? That's a hard gig, bro. I respect them more.
Be like Goku, raise your kids. Yeah, Goku trash, yo. Goku let Piccolo, like, yo, you ever see that joke, that clip? He like Piccolo, like, man, I raise your kids. Go there talking that trash. I raise your son. You out here running off, and whole time he won't dead, he was living.
Hey, Ryan.
Yes.
Do you think she would enjoy it more if you taught her to play PS5?
I tried to get her to get the Harry Potter job, bro, but she don't want to.
Because I think staying at home would be a lot better if you had a Madden franchise going on
Nah, so
in
like
between.
what I do, what I think gets her by is like during my day, I try to make sure I find time for conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like have that adult interaction in the midst of her doing all of that. Cause y'all know me, man. We've had several talks about ambition. Like I'm trying to pass that ambition along to her so that our lineage can keep going. So I'm like, yo, what you trying to do? What you trying to start? I ask all the time. She'd be like, yo, will you leave me alone in the middle of the show? Like you wait till I start the show to start talking to me. But that's what I be on. Like I want in order for my kids to have the nurturing that they need, I have to make sure that, like you said, Corey, don't necessarily got to be man. One of the two, somebody has to be available to be that additional time that the kids need. So I much rather, and they do be spending money though. Amazon, well, I'm so tired of Amazon. I won't put a potato in an exhaust.
I told you that we can do a whole episode on our women's with
I'm so
Amazon.
tired of that Amazon,
I
man.
got 4 open packages right now on the jump. My wife, she just disregards it as though I don't notice. When I walk in, my daughter just automatically picks it up and puts it in there, like, and then it's like, I see
make
these
it worse.
packages.
You know what make it worse? When you be like, "What's that?" I don't even know. What you mean you don't know?
Amazon just dropping random packages.
Hey, look,
Like,
hey, look,
you don't know where it open.
the Amazon man come at my house so much. Sometimes I jump at him. Like if he show, I jump at him. No, like I'm here, bro. Like I'm here. I jump at him, man. Like
I got terrible, man.
out of here, man.
God.
We got any more questions, man? I'm ready to
we
sleep.
still do got the last. We still got the last one.
Tired, man. I'm holding on.
And it's
Come on,
kinda
Kevin
us,
Gates. Come
You
on,
can't do
Kevin
that.
Gates.
Oh man, we should have did a boy.
That's part of the same question.
We could have did a whole episode on Kevin Gates.
That's my guy there.
Hey,
You hear about what?
I don't care what he did. I don't care what he did. I don't care.
Man.
That's my guy.
I'm gonna talk to you after the podcast.
He said he made an Amazon location in his dining room for his wife.
That's crazy.
That's wild, bro.
Okay, all right. The most important question: can men be stay-at-home dads?
Absolutely.
Nah.
Why? No.
I'm going to work, bro. You hear what I just said? Did you not just hear me the last 3 minutes about how hard it is? I'm going to work, bro.
I'm not saying what you want to do. I'm saying, can a man do it? Could you do it?
No.
If it was necessary, no, you ain't about to tell me you could do it. I think I could do it. Yeah.
I did it during the pandemic, bro.
I ain't saying I would be better.
And I did it with a newborn.
I think it would be less than what my wife would do, but I think I could still do it, and it'd just be less. But
yes,
it's like that's like saying if my wife regrettably so like passed, I wouldn't be able to do anything. I think I could take care of the kids. It'd be less.
Yeah, that's not what you asked. See, taking care of the kids is one thing. I can do that. Tiffany just made this perfect. If it's a transition period, like I just said, I did it during COVID. I ain't had no choice. My wife was still working at the time. I was on the front line. I would not choose to do that every day. I'm just being quiet. I love my kids, but I couldn't do them 24/7. I need to get away and go do some work or do something else.
It's tough for me. I rarely can mix me and can't. I think I can do just about anything. Just about anything.
I tell you what, I'm about to mess this podcast. So I'm gonna tell you, if I catch the right play, it'll be Daddy Daycare over here. I'll watch. If I catch the right play,
vacuum the floor and everything.
If I catch the right play, and I could be a soccer dad, I might be Daddy Daycare. And listen, I'll watch my kids and your kids too.
I will be willing to try to figure out if we could do a documentary. I'd be willing to bet that you will fold in 3 months. I'm willing to bet it. I would bet my salary you will fold in less than 3 months.
Like I said, let me catch the right play.
Right,
ain't no shame here, my game. Ain't no shame here. Listen,
Hey.
I'll be a soccer dad. I'll be the coolest soccer dad there.
Imagine,
up in a minivan with speakers in the back.
How many times at night when you get home from work do you have to say no or stop?
Repetitively. Y'all was on the
So
call.
imagine that for 8 more hours.
I think kids get easier the older they get, though.
No, what?
The older they get. My daughter is a lot more easier than my son. My son is like, he's at that age we ain't got no communication yet. So he stop. Hey, get out of there.
What I
No,
just say?
don't do that. Boy, come here. What are you doing?
Hey, you got to fight them to take naps. They tell you they hungry. Then when you make them something, they don't want what they got. Ungrateful. They
No,
don't.
I
You
ain't doing
clean up the house, they mess it back up, and you got to clean it again. I'm going to work. I'm going to work. I work from home, but I'm going. I'm coming tomorrow, bro.
Mm,
I can't do it, man. Can't do
man,
it.
I'm sorry, man.
I think everybody needs time apart though. That's why I would say I feel for my sister. I try my best. She know I would take my niece and my nephew plenty of times to give her some kind of rest because she does a lot. She does a lot, like she says, go to work, school and mother. A lot of people don't have those benefits like that. Same thing. But you know what I'm saying? Hopefully we help each other
Some
out.
boys say he think they get better as they get older. Do you not remember what you were like at 16?
Yeah, but I think it's
Were you easy?
I remember a truth be told, I was, but my mother left us at home with started like 12, right? Chris, we was like 12, 13. I
Don't
don't know.
say that out loud, bro. Not in 2023.
It's truth. I mean,
That's
it ain't nowhere to go by, but we was home alone 12, 13 because we in the country. So won't nobody out there. We started being I started cooking at like 12. Almost
mm.
burned the house down at 12. I had to learn like baking soda and salt, get rid of fouls.
It was a lot more trust. It was a lot more trust when we were growing up. Our parents trusted that we had to learn, right? Like
Yeah,
we do a
you
lot
gotta
of
learn on
basic
your own.
kids nowadays. Yeah. And
Well,
that's a good point. You must work in order to be comfortable in your home. Absolutely. That's
yeah,
either
yeah.
way you
I like.
working.
Hey, put June's comment up there. I like that one.
That's a good comment. Yeah.
Yeah, Miss
Yep.
June's comment. I like
Read
that
it
one.
on out, man.
It said, in today's world, making a choice to be in one role or another is very difficult to do. Both parents must work in order for for comfortable in their home to be comfortable in their home.
Now we saying both like need jobs, work. Is that what we're saying? Like both must work, or saying like the work in general, Miss Joe?
I don't know, man. Eh.
No, what I say more so instances. Me and my wife both work, but certain instances come up.
Purple
Like,
dinosaur.
I look, man. You missed this episode. You missed the episode of the Purple Dinosaurs, man.
Oh
I had to
man.
fill you in on that, man.
Nah, yeah. Let me know what that's about,
You
because
don't know
that is
about the perp,
hilarious.
man. You don't know about
That's
the perp.
hilarious, bro.
well, certain instances, I would say that people are like my daughter gets sick. Which one has leave work? My wife would leave work. So I'm saying responsibilities when stuff has to be taken care of. Which one of y'all most likely to do it? My wife is most likely to do those things. Like we both have responsibility to the church, but my wife didn't go to church because she had to take my son to what's the name patient first because he had an ear infection. So he did that, and I feel the responsibilities at church. But I'm saying that at the end of the day, choices have to be made because if you have kids, instances gonna come up where a decision got to be made. Somebody got to take care of the other responsibility. Somebody got to take care of the kids. Who is primarily set in that role? I'm not saying it has to be the woman. It sometimes can be the man. So even though both people are working, it is a responsibility. Sometimes I do take it, and that's not saying it's all on my wife. But who majority of the time takes, and that would be my wife. Shouts out to my wife for doing that. And
I mean, bro, I think it's just whatever works in your household, bro.
yeah,
Whatever works in your house.
but you agree somebody has
Oh
to.
yeah, no, you don't have a choice. Somebody got to
Yeah,
do it. Somebody
it's
got
gonna
to
come
do
to
it.
that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, hey, if the kids need to be picked up from school early, do I expect my wife to do it? No.
Mhm.
Like, do I think she probably would be better suited for it? Yeah. Yeah, like the cars need oil changes. Do I expect my wife to go do the oil changes? No. Don't. I don't have an expect. That needs to be done. I'm gonna do it. So, school the appointments in school.
If you don't get your wife a pink toolbox, stop playing.
Nah, bro. I don't like
I
her
don't know.
nails.
I expect the
Hey,
car
I don't
dealership to
like.
do it.
Hey, look, I'm about to say something cocky. I don't like her nails to get dirty after I paid for them. I'm good. Keep them just played, man.
Boy, boss.
Hey, bro. No,
Yeah, but I mean, what do you
I'm
mean?
a trick. All
I
right.
know
That's
you
what I
definitely
really
ain't
am.
changing your oil. So, because my wife take it to the dealership and they change.
I need y'all to understand. I've actually said this to a couple of the guys. Y'all realize that, like, once you get married, and I hope not discourage nobody. Yeah, we lost. We the tricks. Like, you are the ultimate trick once you get married. and you want to, and you understand what it takes to stay married, you a trick. Like you really are. You just a certified trick.
But if you do it right, you can be a well-fed trick.
I think that's conventionally. I think that's what
Like
marriage is for, though.
tricking?
No, I think
Yeah.
marriage is the title, the man to the woman, so he don't just leave the woman stranded with the kids. I think at the end of the day, it makes you responsible to stay at home with your family and not just leave and do all the things that you
I
want to
love
do.
it. Hey, I love
Yeah,
being a trick, Vontae. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Put it on. I love it. It's the best thing ever, bro.
yeah,
But
I couldn't imagine not being married.
nah, not
I've been
necessarily.
married too long.
Hey, it's
I
pee in the pool nowadays. They got pee in the pool. They weird out here this day scene nowadays, man.
couldn't imagine during the dating scene. I got less patience than when I know I got way less patience now for silly stuff than when I was like in the world. Like, nah.
Now I probably would if I was single and I went on a date and somebody did a jaywalking joint and didn't hit the sign and go across the street, I probably wouldn't talk to them no more. I'm responsible. You know what I'm saying?
That
Like
does bother me. That bothers me a lot more than it should.
Oh my God.
It does. I mean, I don't
What are
think
we
it should,
doing
but it
here?
does.
What are we doing here,
That don't bother you. Because
that,
I be looking at the
that
person
bothers
like,
me,
why?
bro.
What's the point? Like,
Like
you
just
in so
follow the
much of a
rules, bro.
rush.
Just hit the
You
button.
gotta, yeah.
Man, listen,
You
man.
know that doesn't work though. The
Man,
button
me
is
and
just
Tiff
for
ain't even
show.
checking for a crosswalk.
What?
We
Yep,
in,
the jaywalking.
we
You know what I'm saying?
what
You
are
know
you
what I'm
talking
saying?
about? Jaywalk.
Hey, Vontae. Hey, I agree with you, bro. Like somebody said it earlier though, Vontae. Like a man, it takes a real man to realize that what kind of value a woman can bring to your life though. Like they help you level up. They help you get to a point that you can't get to. You know what I'm saying? By yourself. Like you, as I don't think you can really get to the level of purpose in life without a good wife, bro. My personal opinion.
Absolutely.
My personal opinion.
I think the woman molds the man into exactly who he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I
Man is
tell you
just
what, after
raw
these
time.
comments, I'm sure I can smell the cookies being baked in the background right now, Ryan. Yeah, cookies being baked.
Who me?
Yeah. Is it
Nah,
cookies
stay away
being?
from
I
me.
can smell. I can smell it in the house. You got cookies
This
being baked.
I gotta, after I get out the car, we gotta do the love at first sight, Joe. I told her I'll watch it with her tonight, so
Okay, all
you
right,
probably
man.
fall asleep though, for real. For real. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, man, I
I be laying on
understand.
the couch like this.
Hey, man, I think that's it, man. We ain't got nothing left in this section. Hey, what's your closing thoughts, Ryan?
Hey man, I'm glad y'all boys had me back tonight. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Everybody
sir.
was good
Yes, sir.
talking to y'all.
No
Oh
problem,
man,
man.
so hold on. What we see? Juneteenth. We're
As
going
long as
to.
I'm gonna come up here with this, with the,
I mean, I know we can't get you but once a month, so I'm figuring like that's somewhere around Juneteenth or something like
hey,
that. That's how we'll see.
we're gonna check the schedule. No, we'll try to make it. We'll try to do it. I try to make it.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, you can't tell me you ain't had no fun tonight, man. You can't
That
tell me
was
that.
good, bro. That was good, bro. I think the comments is the best part, though. There's some good
As
people.
always, man, always.
Some good people.
What you got, Corey?
Yes, yes, yes. Let's go Warriors, man. I hope everybody in this chat rooting for the Warriors tonight and counting on these Warriors to pull it through and tie this series 2-2. Yep. So man, appreciate y'all coming
Hey,
in as always. Appreciate the love. I appreciate the conversation. Y'all was really in these chats today. And thank y'all. Thank y'all, man.
hey, real quick though, Corey, did Tiff ever send you the sizes of those shirts and stuff like that?
Nah, I ain't never get
I
it.
never got my hat either, but
Listen, I got 3 hats hanging up in my
I
jumper
gotta
right
get
now.
mine. Mine's at his house now. I ain't been over since I left it there.
Man, by the time, but season 2, we're gonna have upgraded hats.
with the like the belt back in the day with the words going across them.
I'm trying to tell you, we be up. Listen, man, we moving, man. We get some traction, we get some motion. Hey, what you got in closing, Corey?
Yeah, like I said in closing, I always appreciate y'all. I love that y'all tune in all the time. Y'all are very, very faithful, man. These numbers are increasing, man. We're doing better and better every episode. And let us hear y'all feedback, man. Things that y'all want to hear for. Topics y'all want to hear. Let us know. We want to feed y'all whatever y'all want, you know.
He about to get beat.
All right, so hey, Kev, I'm gonna do that, man. Um, here we go. First thing, if you would, I'm asking a favor here. If you enjoyed the content, you thought it was any good, please hit that thumbs up. Look like that. It's like right over there. Is it right there, something, or is it there? Where's
Yeah,
the
that's
button
like
at?
more to the right.
It's right there.
Amazing,
All right.
amazing.
So hit that button right there, the thumbs up button. Also, if you have not hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell right there. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the bell so you get notifications when we come back on. And if you could, man, let your friends and family know about the show. Send them this episode. It was a good time. I enjoyed y'all. I love what we do. This is awesome, man. To kick it with people that I really respect, appreciate, and love. Thank y'all for rocking with us. The most important thing, love yours. We out.
We out. Peace.